Hi you guys, so it's currently I think like 8:45, 8:41. I got my first residency paycheck.
I got paid today and immediately depressed myself. I make $75,000 a year, which sounds great until you realize my biweekly paycheck is $2,155.
Right, everyone, open my first paycheck with me.
I'm an underpaid nurse, so let's spend my first paycheck of the month.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at people's paychecks. Now, I've got a bit of a range here. I've got different ages, I've got different industries, and some people have budgets, which is really cool, so we'll dive into those. But I've got a few people in the medical field. Now, I know what everyone says about the medical field, like it's just a way to print money, but when you actually look at the hours they work, it's up for debate. So let's get into it.
I'm an underpaid nurse, so let's spend my first paycheck of the month. So for these last 2 weeks, I got paid out a grand total of, drum roll, $1,784 after taxes. And of course, rent is here, so that just slaps me in the face for $1,350, and I cry every single time. But no worries, I just wipe the tears away, and I keep moving forward. Groceries, $0 actually, because I got money from TikTok last week, so I've been using that money. Gas, $40. We're doing pretty good. And then my medication, $317. Don't believe me? Here's a screenshot. I could not believe it. I went to different pharmacies. I tried GoodRx. I called my doctor. Everything. This was the cheapest I can get my medicine down to. $317. So, left over, I put in a whopping $77 into my savings. I'm just never ever gonna buy a house, am I? Like, never.
I got paid today and immediately depressed myself. I make $75,000 a year, which sounds great until you realize my biweekly paycheck is $2,155 and my credit card bill was $2,400. So yeah, I'm already broke. I even emptied my savings just to pay it off, but let's budget what's left. First, the bills that don't care how I feel: rent, utilities, car insurance, and the cat's food. Total $1,800, and just like that, my paycheck is gone. Then I checked my subscriptions. I've been paying for HBO Max and Canva for 3 months without opening them once. Canceled both and keeping the essentials. Saved $38. Not much, but that's one grocery run. $200 for groceries, $60 for gas, $30 for household stuff and for eating out, $0 because apparently I'm fasting for financial reasons. Total $290. Just to feel like I'm doing something with my life, I put $10 in my emergency fund. Now my balance is officially $0, but hey, at least it's a planned zero. I track all this in my budget planner. It does the math so I can cry in peace.
Okay, look, we're off to a bit of a rough start here. Now, this actually does set the tone for this video, because once people actually get their paychecks in and they start accounting for everything that they've got to buy, their rent and all stuff like that, they actually don't have a lot left over. I think she could do a little bit better with her financing, because I wouldn't call Netflix, Disney Plus and Spotify an essential. I would call them more of a luxury. Like, you can get free YouTube, you can get free Spotify. There are free avenues that you could do, which would save her $30, $40 a month, which, you know, would put more into her savings. That would be good. But, you know, each to their own. But we'll check out the rest of them because they're even more interesting.
Budget my realistic paycheck with me. I'm 21 years old. I make $25.45 an hour. I work 40 hours a week. So let's do it. So for this pay period, I got paid $1,496.80. I had about $242 left from my last paycheck. So that put my total in my bank account at $1,723.45. That leaves me at $1,483.12 left in my account. So let's get into bills so I can break down what I have left over to save and spend. I always like to start off with my tithes, so I took 10% of a $1,496 paycheck, and that was $149.68. And then the next bill that I have is my car payment. My total car payment is $447, but I do split payment, so $230 and $217. 2 weeks ago, I paid $230 on my car payment, so this pay period, I'm doing $217. That's all the bills that I have for this pay period, so that leaves me with $1,113.12. Okay, now let's get into my savings accounts. Okay, so for my Roth IRA, it takes $100 out of my account at the end of the month, I think on the 22nd, and it took $100 out of my last paycheck, so I don't have to pull anything out of this paycheck for my Roth IRA. Okay, so now for my high yield savings account, last pay period, I put $500 into my high yield savings account. So this pay period, I think I'm gonna put $300. For my high yield savings account, my goal every paycheck is to save $300 to $500 from each paycheck. So as long as we're like somewhere in between that range, I feel like I'm doing good. So I just put $300 into my high yield savings account. So that leaves me with $813.12 left to spend for this paycheck.
Let's go ahead and budget my paycheck as a 25-year-old engineer working in Atlanta, Georgia. So this paycheck, I got paid $3,677. The first thing that I do every single paycheck is move $800 to my rent savings, and this pays half of my rent each month. Then I pay off all my credit card balances in full, and this time it was $1,516. Then I paid $300 towards my car payment, and this is all additional principal because I already made my car payment earlier this month. Then I moved $241 to my car insurance savings, and I actually need to pay that here in a couple days. Investing is a huge priority for me, so with this last $800, I moved over to my Fidelity brokerage account, and I'll show y'all what I plan on investing into later this week. And I just realized I have $19 left over, so I'll probably just move this to my emergency fund. Overall, I think I need to cut down on my credit card spending, but it is what it is.
Look, at 25, this guy's got it sorted. Now, I'm assuming this is a bi-weekly payment he's getting because he said he splits his rent into 2 parts. So I think his rent's monthly and he's getting paid bi-weekly. So it's a lot of money to get paid bi-weekly at 25. So he's got a good job. And I think $800 a fortnight bi-weekly is actually really, really good because he's sort of mitigating the brokerage fee. He's going to see that compound interest grow. He's 25, so it's got a lot of time in the market, which is the best way to do it. So I think this guy's actually pretty switched on. He's got good discipline. He's really worked out his budget. So let's jump over the comments to see what other people have to say. Okay, so this comment says, who do you work for? Approximately 120k out of school is top tier. And it is. And he's done really well. He's got a lot of discipline, so he's going to go really far. So good on him. This one says, so I'm assuming you use your credit cards for gas, food, both groceries and eating out. Otherwise, you haven't accounted for those in your expenses. And the creator actually replies and says, yeah, exactly. So he did say he had a bunch of credit cards and they're all paid off. He had multiple ones, so maybe he's doing like the cashback, multiple credit card scheme where like you get all the bonuses from different ones. That's another good way to do it. And then this one I had to put in because it made me laugh. It says, Theo, you plan on having a girlfriend? So I just had to put that one in there.
Hi, you guys. So it's currently, I think like 8:45, 8:41. I just got home from a shift and I got my first residency paycheck. Okay. Okay, so gross earnings is $2,227.68. Net pay is $1,774.26. Not horrible. Is this for 40 hours? I don't know how much this is for. Okay, so it has my hourly rate. My hourly rate is $39.78. I don't know how many hours this is for though, in total. So maybe I'll have to do some math or read the email that they sent.
Guess we got paid today. That's right, we're back with another budgeting video. Let's budget my bi-weekly paycheck as an 18-year-old working at an ice cream shop in California. As you guys know from my last video, I got paid $657.35 for 30 hours of work. So first, I'm going to put $241.56 into my college savings, which was based off my college savings series. So currently, we are 59% on the way to reaching our goal, and once I put $241.56, we will now be 65% on the way to reaching our goal. Next, I'm going to put $100 into stocks. Then I'm going to put $115 into my emergency fund, which I leave in a high yield savings account. For this, we are currently 25% on the way to reaching my goal, and once I add $115, we will now be 39% on the way to reaching the goal. So after all of that, we are left with $200.79 left in my checking, which usually I don't leave that much in my checking, but since it's my birthday month, I do want to be a little more lenient. Anyways, here's what my budget tracker looked like for last month. And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Okay, look, another really switched on 18. Working in the ice cream shop bi-weekly. She's putting money away in a high yield savings account, which is insane. She's done her research and she's also putting money into stocks. So both sides of the coin, really, really good. I'd be a little bit worried about the $100 though. If she's getting hit with those brokerage fees, they could diminish those returns unless she's putting it into an account, and then when it gets big enough she's buying a whole lot of like ETF units, or she's buying single stock. I don't really know what her plan is, but I mean at 18 it almost wouldn't matter because you've still got time in the market. That compound interest is just going to grow and grow and grow, so she's going to be really, really set. So either way, she's done a research, or she's got around people who know what they're talking about, and she's taken on that advice. She seems really disciplined with her breakdown as well, so I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. The only thing I would say is being in an ice cream shop is a little bit hard. It is a seasonal job. Like, it does really well in summer, but pretty poorly in winter. People aren't buying ice cream when it's snowing outside. So I think that's the other side. You've got to really, plan for that as well, which I feel like she is, because she had a very detailed spreadsheet. So she might be already one step ahead, and good on her. She seems switched on. But look, that's all we have time for. If you like this video, there'll be another one that pops up that you might enjoy as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this, and come back for more. I'll see you next time.